Hello, and welcome back to the Misty Morrison Podcast. I'm your host, Misty Morrison, and this is episode 34 of Petty Please. Here on the Misty Morrison Podcast, we love to judge, we love to give advice, we love all the petty drama. But before we get into our stories for the day, our usual housekeeping, whether you are new or returning, please remember to engage with the content to help the channel grow. Whether you are watching on YouTube, listening on podcast, watching shorts on YouTube, TikTok videos, Reels on Instagram or Facebook. Please remember to rate, review, like, subscribe for more, comment with your thoughts on the stories, all the things. We are burning the midnight oil again, as usual. This is my last night at conference. I'm only doing 2 episodes tonight. I did 3 episodes Tuesday night, 3 episodes Wednesday night. Today's Thursday. I'm going to do 2. So I will have batched 10 episodes this week. I'm proud of myself. But it is 11:10 as we are getting started on our second episode tonight. I'm ready for bed. It's 11:10. I have to drive a long drive out of the city tomorrow after several sessions and hopefully a big lunch with dessert. But it's all good. I'm tickled to be here. We've been having a great time. All the dinners have been great. The company's been great. All good things. So we will get started on story number 1 today. It is coming to us from a new sub. I saw an interesting title, so we're going to try this sub. It is r/managers. This story is entry-level employee wants to be looped into everything. Hi all, I supervise one entry-level employee. I report to the VP as a senior specialist, and my employee is an associate specialist. She's been here for 1.5 years out of college. She's good, takes initiative, works hard, but lacks some polish, of course. Her written communication isn't great, and her technical skills have room to improve, but she takes direction reasonably well and has good follow-through. Overall, I like her and enjoy our relationship. She sat me down yesterday and said she wants more visibility. I asked her what she meant, and she wants to present more at the meetings I lead. Fine, happy to coach. And have more autonomy on projects. Fine, I assigned her one to own. But she also asked that we more democratically assign work. Her idea is that after a team meeting with the VP, her and I should sit down and decide together how to dole out action items. She's also asked me to copy her on more of my independent work so she has more visibility into what I do. My instinct is that these 2 requests are inappropriate as 1, deciding what to delegate is part of my job, and 2, why does she need visibility? She's not my boss. To be clear, I did not come up this way. There was a very clear chain of command where you do what's asked, go to the meetings you're invited to, and kind of defer to your boss, so these asks are not sitting well with me. I'm not sure if this is a case of that's not how it was done in my day on my part, or if these are reasonable requests. I'm with you. I do not think these are reasonable requests. I really appreciate the way you started this, like highlighting like all of her good qualities, admitting that she is a good employee. Very kind, very nice. Okay, let's see. And I mean, you even agreed to 2 of her asks. She wanted to present more at the meetings. You said, fine, that's a good learning experience for you to present. Okay. And then she wanted more autonomy on projects, so you gave her one to own herself. Great. I think that all sounds good. But then she wants you to copy her on your work. That doesn't really seem like she wants more visibility into what you do, as for more people to know she's there and a part of it. But if it is independent work, if she does not play a role in it, if she has no part on it, if she doesn't work on it, hard no. That really sounds like an invasion of your working privacy. What was the other one that was even worse? Oh yes, after you meet with the VP, or a team meeting with the VP, I don't know if she's there or not, but she thinks you and her should sit down and decide together how to dole out action items. And that actually makes it sound like these action items are possibly being doled out to more than just you and her. But either way, no, you are the boss, and it is your job to delegate out the tasks. Like, you decide who is a good fit for the task, you decide who has the time for the task, or you decide who can grow by struggling through this task. Yeah, that one is a weird ask, because that is above her role. So you're not wrong. You're right. This is not a case of, well, that's not how we used to do it, so I would change things now. She's just, these are odd requests. And I would probably, when, you decline them, I would ask her, why do you feel like those are necessary? Just out of curiosity. Okay, story number 2 is coming to us from r/malicious compliance. All client communication must go through new software. My company rolled out a horrible new project management software. It's slow, confusing, and our clients hate it. My manager is the only one who likes it. He caught me using email to help our biggest client and got mad. He told me, you must use the new software for all client communication. No more emails. If it's not in the software, it didn't happen. 2 weeks later, our biggest client, an old school CEO who hates the new software, emailed me for an urgent quick call. Instead of just replying, I logged into the new software, created a new task for her, and wrote my reply there. Then I replied to her email informing her of my manager's new policy that requires me to move our communication to our new software. Sent her a link to see my message and schedule the call. About an hour later, our company's CEO calls me. The client had called him directly, furious that I was refusing to help her and sending her bureaucratic links. She was threatening to pull our contract. I explained I was just following manager's direct order. The CEO told me to call the client immediately and handle it. A new email went out an hour later from the CEO. Please use whatever communication method is best for the client. Client satisfaction is our top priority. Manager's new rule didn't even last 2 weeks. Sometimes people get hung up on certain things and they make rules that make no sense. Yeah, I don't even really feel like, if there was a CEO above this manager, I do not feel like they should have at all had a right to make this rule. I'm a serious water drinker. I love water, especially at nighttime. I just get to feeling really thirsty at night. I'll probably drink 2 or 3 bottles of water at night, like 8 o'clock on. And this particular hotel did not supply like complimentary water bottles in the room as many do. So I thankfully was smart and I brought water bottles with me, but I only had 5. I've been here 3 nights and I've only had 5 water bottles and I did good. But this is my last one and it's more than half empty and I'm really sad. I will not drink the tap water in the city. So once this is done, it will hopefully last me into the morning, but I'm struggling. I need water. I was going to DoorDash to the hotel just a pack of water, and because my order was going to be less than a certain amount, and from the distance the hotel is, my fees were going to make my like $4 water a $10 pack of water, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So, yeah, we're going to make it through to tomorrow. But also, like, down in the conference, there is like a fridge with complimentary drinks, but there's no water in it. They have like water that you can serve out of like a big fountain thing, like into a cup. And I've been drinking those when down at the conference, but I want a water bottle to take with me, to throw in my bag, to take in the car for the ride home. But all that's in the fridge is soft drinks, which is fine. I'll drink them, but my heart wants water. Okay, back to our stories for today. Story number 3 is coming to us from r/malicious compliance. You want the chocolate ice cream? Okay, kid, you win. A short one that happened to me. I was maybe 10 or 11 years old at sleepaway camp. One night at the mess hall, the dessert served was ice cream. Random servings of vanilla and chocolate dishes on the tables. First come, first serve. I really wanted chocolate, and I guess I put up a pretty big stink about it, because the counselor at the table whispered something to the kitchen staff, and suddenly I had a bowl of chocolate ice cream that was 3 to 4 times bigger than the usual serving. He told me I had to eat the whole thing right then and there. A few minutes later, I had a bloated stomach, massive brain freeze, and had learned a valuable lesson. That's funny. You did it to yourself, really. Um, I remember when I was going to my college graduation. I'd been at the college for 3 years and was in several different programs, and I worked there too. And like, I was in the choir, I worked there, and a student. Well, the choir was doing a performance, and I was like a spotlight student getting recognized. Well, whenever they told me about that, they said I could sit wherever I wanted. And so the choir had decided we were all going to sit in a certain row. So when it was time for the presentation, or for the performance, we could all get up, go on stage, come back down, and it looked really unified. So day of graduation comes. We go in where the registrar and all of them are, and we have to go get, I don't remember if it was, oh yes, it was the name card that we were going to have to hand to like the announcer when we went up to get our degree. And so like they gave me my name card, and I noticed on the back of it, there was a seat assignment, and I panicked. I didn't freak out, like I didn't make a stink about it, but I panicked. I looked at it and my eyes got wide, and I just turned around to my friend that was going to sit next to me who was walking out the door of the room, and I just hollered her name. And like the staff, they're just like, because I'm really quiet, like I've always been really quiet. And so the staff were like, what's going on? What's wrong? And I'm like, they told me I wouldn't have an assigned seat. The choir is all sitting together in this row. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll fix it. So they talked for a while, and they finally said, okay, you don't have to sit there. You can sit where you were going to sit. We just need to know where you are. So I told them, 3rd row back, 2nd seat in, from the right. And all the staff in that room knew, and I believe they failed to tell like the lighting people, because when they said spotlight student, they meant it. Like they literally put a spotlight on the students. They stood on the specific students. They stood up while the president of the college spoke. And so whenever they called my name and I had to stand up, the light kind of went everywhere before it finally found me. Not a big stink. Didn't suffer for it like you did, but that made me think of that. Okay. Story number 4 is coming to us from r/petty revenge. Girl with perv at a bus stop. I was 19 and living on my own, but I couldn't afford a car, so I used public transportation, which was fine, but it meant having to transfer buses on the Nicollet Mall in Minneapolis. Only buses are allowed on this mall road and could be a bit sketchy and scary at night. One night, I left my mom after sitting with her at the hospital until it was pretty late. Obviously, I had to take a bus to get home, which meant transferring at the mall. It was dead of night, so I was grateful to see the area appeared to be empty as I entered the lit-up plexiglass bus shelter to wait for my bus home. I kept alert of my surroundings, and it wasn't long before a man came striding down the mall. He walked tall and with purpose, so my heart was pounding with fear as he approached the glass window. Suddenly, he whips his long coat open and exposed himself to me. That went way further than I thought it was going. I was scared to death, which for some reason made me giggle, so I glanced up at the man's face mid-laugh. Yep, that looks like a penis, only smaller. He yanked his coat shut, hunched over, and actually ran away. I guess I didn't give him the fear reaction he was looking for. Wow, that was really quick thinking. Good for you for not showing the fear, because most people would have just frozen and panicked and just stared and said nothing. Good for you. I feel like you definitely turned that situation around for yourself. Not petty at all, but brilliant. Story number 5 is coming to us from r/petty revenge. My father-in-law thinks his guilt tripping will work in his favor. This is a petty revenge in the making, so I'd be happy to update in the future. And this is only posted 13 hours ago when I'm recording. My father-in-law really wants us to come to their house this Christmas, but this year it will be difficult. My husband works in essence, a contractor job, so he doesn't get a lot of time off. If he took off too much time, he would lose full-time status and he would have to hope he'd get it back the next month. Because of this, he's probably only going to get 2 days off. We live 10 plus hours from our home state, so driving would suck and we'd spend at most a day with everyone. Flying is an option, but the shutdown has us nervous. We also have pets, and our usual sitter is going to be gone for the holidays. We would have to find a new sitter and hope our pets like them as much as the usual sitter. Even with all these reasons, my father-in-law has been trying to guilt trip us to come. He said we had inadvertently made a tradition of coming up every X amount of years. He's used the sickly family members, which our reasonings were never about not wanting to see them. Also, why do we need a holiday to remember to value your loved ones? We could easily make a trip for January or February. When all else fails, he uses the mom card. My mother-in-law recently lost a family member and has been really down, and she wants everyone together for the holiday. We've come up several times this year because we wanted to support her, and if the situation was different, we would have loved to come up for Christmas too. Sadly, it doesn't change our circumstances. We were also upset because mother-in-law's struggles were never the reason until father-in-law said it after weeks of talking about Christmas plans. I was pretty upset to hear that father-in-law was trying to guilt trip us this way. But then I got a bright idea. Since he wants us to spend time with friends and family, then we'll do just that. We are now making plans to visit everyone that we don't get to see. His family will still get time with us, but we refuse to let father-in-law dictate our time. Good for you! We plan to rent a car because I can already foresee father-in-law making excuses for why we can't use their cars. Tomorrow we're supposed to talk about booking flights, and I plan to tell father-in-law, you know what, this works out after all because we can now see everyone that we haven't seen in a long time. I can't wait to hear the tone in his voice when he realizes we aren't planning to spend every waking moment with him. Sorry for any grammatical errors. I'm typing this literally about an hour after hearing father-in-law's latest guilt trip. Any advice and tips are greatly appreciated. I think you've got this. You've got this. He wanted to use everyone else to guilt trip you into coming, so you're coming. It's just not the plan that he intended in his head, but by using these people, this is kind of the plan that he put out there. Yeah, I love this. Because technically you're doing exactly what he suggested. You are coming to see people that you don't normally see. I'm really curious to see how he's going to try to backtrack that. Story number 6 is coming to us from... Wait, is it 6? Yes. Story number 6 is coming to us from r/petty revenge. This one will cost you, Dad. The pettiest revenge I ever got was on a lying, cheating ex. Sent him a box of cat poop. No, it wasn't terribly mature, but it made me feel a lot better. My best revenge, which I will never forget and worked so well that I repeated it multiple times, was on my parents, with quotation marks. Thank God I'm adopted and don't have their DNA. Interesting. My dad smacked me around one too many times. Okay. I skipped school the next day, snuck back in the house, and got Mom's credit cards. I had me a good old time. I had breakfast at a diner while I was waiting for the mall to open. They had delicious fluffy buttermilk pancakes and the best coffee I've ever tasted anywhere. I spent the morning shopping for clothes and stocked up on music. I got Led Zeppelin's, the Rolling Stones, and Aerosmith's entire catalog. Then I broke for lunch in a great little bistro, bought some shoes to match my new outfits, watched a matinee, and went home. I got the mail, so it was easy to intercept the bill. My mom was on a lot of meds, and after taking her nightly sleep cocktail, she was gone. I waited for her to start seeing the butterflies, then gave Dad the mail. When he screamed, "What the hell is all this for?" I threw up my hands. Mom said to get school clothes. I outgrew all my last year's stuff. Did you let Salty use the charge? She blinked cross-eyed at him. Yeah. I wasn't worried. I was going to win this no matter what she said. When you're that stoned and everybody knows it, it doesn't matter. That pounding cost him a little over $700. I never said, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned," either. Damn. Uh, Honestly, the way you were talking, and I guess this was from the sound of it. It sounds like this was many years ago, or at least several years ago. So I guess things were still cheaper back then. Because from the sound of it, I was fully expecting this was going to be more than $700. Um, so not that, yes, it's expensive. I would cry if that happened to me. But a little over $700, he smacked you around. It doesn't sound like you deserved it or sound like it was beyond like discipline. So yeah, they say some people don't learn a lesson until it hurts them in their pocketbook. There you go. Story number 7. I'm trying to do better about keeping track, but numbers are not my jam at all. Story number 7 is coming to us from r/petty revenge. Enjoy the favoritism while it lasts. I work as a security, providing consistent results, and my manager gives shit to me and always writes me up for speaking up about his useless coworker. This coworker is so useless, and no, he doesn't give a shit about his job and always sleeps on the day off. Knowing the situation, I secretly recorded him and decided to report it to the higher ups. No. So the higher ups know, but before that, I decided to go job hunting just in case of anything going on. I managed to get hired and decided to resign. This is very poorly written. I'm struggling, guys. There's lots of typos and very little punctuation. I don't think there's not a single comma. It's only an occasional period. Let's see. I managed to get hired and decided to resign effective immediately, and this is the last result. Obviously, my manager got pissed and told him, I think it means to say told me. Obviously, my manager got pissed and told me this. Since I'm useless on your eyes, you don't need me anymore. My job is now his. Good luck to both of you. 3 months I heard about my previous workplace. My ex-manager got fired along with his favorite useless coworker. My previous workplace called me to come back, but I told them said I have no desire to work there anymore. My revenge is now complete, and I ended up getting the last laugh. Honestly, that was so badly written. I got distracted to what it even was. Um, okay, he told the higher ups about the boss and the useless coworker. You left, you got a better job. The manager eventually got fired. I don't know that it was petty. But you got your desired result, so it all works out. Um, okay. That is 7 stories and us done for the day. Thank you so much for being here for another episode of the Misty Morrison Podcast. I love reading these stories with you guys, and I will see you next time for another episode of the Misty Morrison Podcast. Thanks, guys. Bye.